Well, if you'll notice, how could you not notice? Well, look at this. I'm wearing my Trump cap. There's Lily. Lily's with me again out here. And I wanted to just mention something that had happened to me back in October of 2016, October 28th exactly. I had this dream, and I dreamt that there was this long, dark room. It was empty, completely empty and dark, all except for two things in the room. One was a king cobra snake that literally filled the entire room. I mean, the room was probably 35 foot long, and this snake stretched from one end of the room to the other around the outer edges. And then at the far end of the room, you know how a snake can do, they can go up a wall, and his head was, you know, looking out over the wall, you know, in total smugness, control over that. He had control of that room. Well, at the other end of the room, there's another buck out there. Telling you what, I am bushing up the bucks this morning. Anyway, as the other end of the room, there was a mongoose, and just sitting there, and all of a sudden this mongoose leaped from one end of the room to the other, grabbed that snake up around the throat area and shook him, and you know, turned him loose, and was immediately back to the other side of the room. Well, oh, I forgot to mention this. In the dream, I'm watching this on TV, and it was on a video recording. I was watching a recording on TV. It wasn't live. So I'm watching this recorded show in my dream, and all of a sudden, this snake then, just like lightning, stretched across the room, grabbed the mongoose around the throat. And you know how a snake will just bite and turn loose and release? Well, this, in the dream, and in this, it didn't do that. This cobra grabbed the mongoose by the throat, stuck his fangs in the neck area, like around in the artery or something, and held on. And in the dream, I turned the TV off. I'm like, and I said, in the dream, I said, I don't want to see this. I mean, I hate snakes. I don't want to see this. I figured the mongoose would kill that snake, and I don't want to see the snake kill the mongoose. Well, there was a man's voice that answered me in the dream, and he just kind of chuckled, and he said, the snake don't kill the mongoose. He said the mongoose is immune to the snake's venom. And he said the snake kills the mongoose. Well, I woke up. Well, I knew that mongooses were immune to snake's venom, but I didn't know for sure if that meant a king cobra. So, you know, ask Siri, you know, what do you got to do? Ask Siri. So, sure enough, Siri said the mongoose is immune to the king cobra's venom, and it said the cobra's venom, what it does is it paralyzes its victims, so they're fully awake while they get killed, but they can't move. They just, it's something in their venom that goes in the blood, and it paralyzes the victims. Their muscles are literally paralyzed. Well, it said that the mongoose, it can't paralyze them. They have something in their blood that the venom doesn't paralyze them like it does everything else. Well, I was like, I knew that dream was a dream from God, and I knew it had to do politically, and I knew that Trump, now you got to understand, this was before the 2016 presidential election. This was in October. I already knew by God that Trump was going to win. God had already spoke to me that that was his man to rescue America from socialism and just a destructive, you know, taking us down the road against the Constitution and everything else. But I didn't know for sure if the snake represented like the administration, you know, Obama's administration, or what. Since I've realized that a cobra especially represents high-level witchcraft. So that is what's been ruling over the people that have been ruling over our country, for the most part, not all of them, of course. What a ridiculous statement to make. But in Washington, D.C., that's where it's ruling, and I knew this room was like a controlling place in Washington, D.C. over our government. Well, anyway, so the dream obviously meant that Trump would be immune to the tactics and the witchcraft that operates behind the scenes politically. That's what's been operating in the administrations that's been in control for so long, Republican and Democrat. We got to realize this is not a Republican or a Democrat issue. This is an evil and light issue. This is good versus evil, light versus dark. Well, what I wanted to say about all this, I've wanted to share that dream before, but I don't know, just never did. But what I wanted to say to some of you people who maybe still are not on the Trump deal, you don't like him because you don't like his personality, because he can be brass, obnoxious at times, and all. You don't like his personality, so you don't think God would pick a guy like that with a personality like that. Well, listen, you know what? Kind of read your Bible a little bit more. He picked a lot of raw, obnoxious, rough, rugged, and not so couth personalities to do his deal. But I thought of this morning, is why I put this video out, is that with rodeoing and barrel racing, I know several barrel racers who's had some incredible horses, and a lot of these incredible horses had these weird things about their personality, and some of them were just obnoxious. I mean, on the ground, some horses that are these great horses that take these girls to the winning window to pick up their paycheck are obnoxious. They're on the ground, they're kind of mean, or they don't like certain things. And you know, I have never in my life found a girl that has a horse that is taking her to the pay window that sells that horse because he's got a personality that she don't like. She just deals with it. I've heard more than one say, you know what, I can put up with that as long as he keeps taking me to the pay window. Well, that's what I want to say to y'all. If these barrel racers can have enough sense, and you know, it's anything. It's not just barrel racing, it's ropers, anything. You know, you got a horse that's just an awesome, and come on, you got an incredible horse that's taking you to the pay window in rodeo, and you're gonna sell him because you don't like his personality? I mean, that's just like cutting your nose off to spite your face. That's just really stupid. Well, that's the attitude of a lot of believers, is that they don't like Trump's personality, they don't like the way he talks, they don't like his mannerism or whatever, so they're gonna get rid of the guy who is literally bringing America back into the hands of patriots. And the only people that shouldn't like this is people who aren't patriots, who are wanting to keep control, keep you and I under control. You know what? This video is longer than I wanted it to be anyway, so I'm going to tell you one other dream. I didn't check on it. I don't remember when I had this dream, whether it was before or after the election. But I dreamt that I was sitting outside this house in a beautiful acreage of woods, and a house that had been beautiful, but it needed upkeep. I mean, it needed modernization is what it needed. And all of a sudden, these black limousines pulled up, and out stepped President Trump. And he goes over to the house, and all of a sudden, I'm in this house with him, because I was outside the house wanting to see what it looked like on the inside. And it wasn't like the White House. It was just a house on some beautiful acreage with some beautiful trees around it. Anyway, we're in the house, and so I asked President Trump, I said, well, so you bought this, okay? And I said, so are you going to remodel the house? And he said, no, I'm tearing it down. I'm going to tear the house down and rebuild it. And I said in the dream, wow, then you bought this place not for the house. You bought it for the land. And that was the end of the dream. And when I woke up, I realized that one of the things that Trump was going to do, he's not going to be politically correct. He's not trying to just make things, rearrange the White House. He didn't do this for the power of the presidency, y'all. He did this for the love of the land. The man loves our country. He loves our land. And if you don't like his personality, you just need to get over it, because this is God's man to bring America back to greatness again. And this just now came up to me. There we go. So I'll sign off, me and Lily, wishing you a wonderful day. And God bless America, and God bless President Trump.